Welcome back to the channel, EP fam. Appreciate you guys tapping in. Make sure you smack that subscribe button because we do have more content coming your way. Today, I got an exciting one for you guys. 2022 Dodge Durango RT all-wheel drive, hello, review. This one's really cool. This one's near and dear to my heart. This is a personal vehicle, so I wanted to take the opportunity to share this with you guys. This is something that we don't see a lot of yet just because of how new it is. So let's go ahead and get into it. As soon as we hop in, first thing our eyes are drawn to is the flat bottom steering wheel. This is something that used to only be on SRT, Scat Pack models, 392s, things like that. But I think it's pretty cool that they finally started putting stuff like this in, you know, the lower trim levels. RTs need love too, baby. Those are still strong V8s. So we see that Dodge has given the 22 this gigantic 10.1 inch Uconnect screen, which is about the size of a tablet. It's insane. Obviously not as big as anything like a Tesla, but still pretty humongous, to say the least. I believe that the majority of the dash cluster is still basically about the same. We do have the RT logo up here, which I'll run you through that. That's actually going to be the track pages and the sport pages. Now, an awesome feature here with the 22 is that it is set up to individual drivers. So however you keep your seat, your mirrors, your rear view mirror, you can specifically adjust it to the individual, and it will be a lot more unique in that way, because you now have I believe it's up to 4 drivers that can set their specific height adjustment, recline, and as soon as you tap your username, that will adjust your seat, and it gives you all of those comforts, so you don't have to go and slide the seat forward and up and down and in and out, because the newer the car, the more settings that these seats have. So you're going to see the lumbar support, they have the bucket seat, it's got heating and cooling, and it's got different adjustments for height on the leg, and the front goes up and the back goes down, and I mean, so it's very tailored to the driver and the individual, but it could be kind of a pain in the ass if you're having to adjust that every single time you hop in the car, if you're adjusting between drivers. So another feature here that we see on the 22 is that we actually have let's go home, we have the apps page, and if we bring that up, we can pull our favorites category. I set it over here. The 22 has performance pages. So if I tap my performance pages, I can now go in here, I can see all of my recent timers, I can see all of my different gauges. It's got the dyno set, so when I'm hopping on it, I can see where my horsepower is at, essentially, and my torque. I don't know how specific and accurate this is in relation to like a actual dyno tuning machine, but it is pretty cool to see where your peak horsepower is and when you're playing around like that. So it's all real time when you step on the gas. You have your G-force meter here, which is going to gauge all 4 sides of the car. You have front and back, left and right. You also even have the pitch of the vehicle, and you have the roll. This is something that we see as a new feature on here that was not necessarily there before. And what this is really giving us a full 360 spectrum of what's going on outside of the vehicle and with the vehicle, you know, while you're driving it. So that's pretty cool that Dodge thought to give this specific, you know, this is a big SUV, right? Like, not a lot of SUVs get this kind of love where it's almost race car centered. Here we have the suspension setup. This is again in real time, so you know, when I turn the car on, and I now turn the steering wheel, you can see here you get the real-time response. So you can see where your front wheels are at and everything in real time. So that's pretty cool. Even gives you the degree of your steering wheel. If we go back here to the apps page, this is a whole different setup. The layout is different. This is almost kind of like cell phone-ish, really. And you can even download other apps to the car itself. This is the first model year that came with a built-in Wi-Fi hotspot. I don't know exactly how much and what's the data and things like that, but I know that they give you 1 gig of free to start, and then I believe you have to have a subscription after that. But it's really cool because as we're about to see right now, the rest of this car is very much passenger centered, so having things like a Wi-Fi hotspot is going to make a big difference. No, because this was a custom order, along with all of that Alcantara and that stitching, we see that we have the captain seats here, which actually does eliminate the standard bench seat here that goes in the back, which would have the 3-seat, and then you would have another 2 seats here in the back. The Durango itself would seat 7 normally. Here we see that we have room for 6 just because it's still racing style setup, right? Again, this is an SUV that's more geared towards that race car style. We even see that it's got the bolster here and the bucket seat style, even for the passengers in the captain's chair, which is extremely cool. Cool feature here is we have the automatic tailgate, which is really nice. The V6s, the SXTs, they don't come with this option. So here we even have the button that allows us to close the tailgate from the inside, so it makes it super convenient. You don't even have to put hands on anything. And here with our 3rd row seating, you know, it's a lot of small space here in the back, but if you take and pop these down, really opens up this whole cargo area here, so you can still comfortably seat 4 up front and stow all your stuff back here. It's really nice because of how convenient it is. It's ridiculously easy. Bam, you're done. All right, now these fold down automatically when you pop the chair back, but there is a button inside of the Uconnect app that will allow you to manually lower and raise these from the driver position, because this can actually just block your line of sight when you're trying to look out the rear mirror and the rear view window. So pretty cool. When you see the badge, that should say it all, but just in case you need some extra convincing, we have a beautiful 5.7 liter V8 Hemi motor packed into the hood for you. Again, functional heat extractors, beautiful, functional scoop. This is putting out 360 horsepower, 390 pound-feet of torque. So, you know, for an SUV, this thing is moving. It actually does have some nice punch, you know, when you step on the gas, which is really cool. A lot of times you get that lag, or you're just not, you know, getting the pickup that you want. So this is really a good blend of power and, you know, capability, capacity. It can tow the family, and it can also beat a lot of cars on the road. So you get the best of both worlds. So now think it's time for us to go ahead and jump into the Durango, see what this thing can really do, right? Because that's what you really want. Let's go. All right, so from everything to the custom power suspension, the power steering that is adapted to racing, the wireless cell phone chargers, the hotspots, this thing is really a unique vehicle. I would definitely recommend anybody who is looking to get the best of both worlds, look into getting these before they are gone. As we know, 2023 is going to be the last year for V8s. So I believe that if you want to get what you can while you can, now's the opportunity to jump on that. So, you know, we've taken a look at the inside, we have taken a look at the outside. Now let's see what this thing can do for real, for real. All right. One thing I love about these cars is the 8-speed automatic manuals, especially when you got these V8s, because you really do get the extra little bit of punch, and they're just fun to drive like that. You know, it's pretty exciting. So you get little things like so if we look here into the cluster, we can see that when we're on the RT symbol, that it gives me all of my different setups. I have my reaction times for quarter mile. I can see my specific timer. I can see how long it takes me to brake, so on and so forth, right? But it's really cool because, again, it's all in real time. It's all happening right then. And you're able to track your pulls. You're able to track your performance. You can see, you know, all of the different stuff. So if we go in here on the cluster where it's got the RT symbol, we have all of our timers. We have 0 to 100, give you your accurate times. It'll give you all of your braking distances, 1/8 mile timers, quarter mile timers. It's really handy because, again, all that stuff's in real time. So you're able to track your pulls. You're able to track, you know, when you're at the racetrack, and you know, this thing has actually got enough balls that it can really get down and do something, right? You see those pulls. You know, riding around in manual is always my favorite. I love the RT because we have paddles now, so whenever we're out here doing our thing, it's just that much more fun to drive. Downshifts are aggressive too. Torque is definitely there. So I always drive around in sport mode because why not? Sport and manual. Yes, listen to that thing rip. There's a big difference with the suspension on this too. You do not feel, you get the gravitational pushback of the pulls, but you don't feel rough. You don't feel the jerk. It's a lot different than when I'm in the Scat Pack. You know, I feel all of those head tugs and, you know, throwing you into the back of your seat. It's kind of violent, really, compared to this. This is almost like doing pulls on a cloud. It's weird. I'm just saying, it's legit. It's legit. You should think about it. You should really think about it. Right now, with the way that Dodge is marking up all of these vehicles, it's insane. V8s are going out of style, and dealerships are taking advantage of that heavily. The markup on this was about 5,000. I've seen 7,000, 10,000. You know, if you're going for high-end Hellcats, Trackhawks, things like that, $50,000, $60,000 markups. So you got to be careful. It's not for everybody, and I'm definitely not balling. So, you know, but you got to enjoy life while you can, right? You got to have fun. You just got to enjoy the ride, and to do that, you got to get a ride. So, you know, I'm not being paid by Dodge, but I'm a huge Mopar fanatic, and I'm just saying it's worth it. Now here, the screen's humongous, so you can legitimately see everything without a problem. The backup cam is pretty sharp too, not gonna lie. There are so many sensors around the outside of this vehicle that I very much doubt that you could even hit anything if you wanted to. I know that the SXT model even has a sensor that if you're getting too close to something, it automatically stops the car in motion so that you can't hit it. So I can only imagine that this would be somewhat of the same nature. I've never backed up to anything that close to find out, but you know, it is available if you need it. Some people can't judge even with a gigantic 10.1 inch Uconnect screen in front of their face. So I don't know, go figure. All right, guys, this is going to be the end of this one. I appreciate you guys tapping in. A lot more to come on the channel. We're going up all of this year still. Ain't nothing changed. You guys are big supporters. We're growing a lot of subscribers. We're double what we were just a few months ago. So thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you guys for tapping in. Thank you guys for the likes. Because this was the custom order, we see that we have that nice satin black. I believe they call it pitch black, which is the color that we get for the rims and also the badges. Normally everything is chrome, so here we have the blacked out badges, the 4-wheel drive. Yes sir, you already know. And then I blacked out those tail lights just to match.